Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will discuss about uh, the lecture note. I'm Marina Artiasa, from Nusa Putra University. I want to share about identification of risk and hazard in the workplace and risk analysis in electrical engineering. Now, number one is introduction to risk and hazard identification. Identification risk and hazard in the workplace is a critical step in ensuring worker safety. In every job we have to sure that worker is safety. The work environment and running operation. In the field of electrical engineering, workers are faced with various types of risks that can pose hazard, such as contact with electricity, equipment failure, and exposure to hazardous materials. These identification measures are important to prevent work accident incident and ensure that adequate control measures are implemented. Now, like we can see in the picture, in the picture there is a lot of potential of hazard, the risk, in this work of place. So we have to identify one by one, so if everything could be safe, everyone in safe condition. And then two, how to identify risk and hazard in the workplace. There are several methods that can be used to identify risk and hazard in the work environment, especially in electrical engineering. These steps include 2.1 direct observation, conducting in-person inspection of the workplace can help identify physical hazard, risky equipment and unsafe working condition. The safety officer or manager should regularly inspect the work area and take note of any potential hazard that may arise. So this is we have to come and see if there is any hazard, risky equipment, and unsafe working condition, and have to be very detailed because it might be risky, or could cause accident. And then interviews with workers. Workers usually have excellent insight into hazard in their workplace because they are directly involved in day-to-day operations. Discussion or interviews with workers can provide additional information about risks that may not be visible during visual inspection. We can talk and interview with the workers what they feel, about the situation of the tools, maybe, or the place. Is there anything that is potential to become not safe, or maybe have to change the component or maintenance or whatever, maybe because they work there and they will know better. And number 2.3, reviews of previous incident report. Reviewing past reports of work accident or near misses can be helpful in recognizing frequent hazard patterns and identifying areas or work processes that require special attention. Now, so if there is any incident or accident before, they have to be noted, so we know what's the hazard and what's the accident and what is not going well there, so we can have a maintenance, or we can prevent, so there is no other accident like that again. And then use of checklists. A safety checklist is an effective tool for identifying potential hazard. The checklist includes a series of questions or items that direct attention to common risks such as power tools, building conditions, safety procedures, and worker training. So before we work, we have to use the safety checklist. Yeah, if it's everything okay, we can work. But if not, we can repair, or we can tell to the manager or to the boss about this. Yeah, so we can work safety. And then analysis of work procedure. Yeah, 2.5, examining the steps in the work procedure can reveal potentially dangerous points, especially when there are procedures that are unclear or not in accordance with safety standard. Yeah, so every job, yeah, in electrical engineering have to have work procedure. Yeah, maybe it's not safe or there is a risk, we can change to better procedure. Yeah, so we can take care of the risk, and then no other dangerous accident. Yeah, and then job safety analysis, or JSA. JSA is a process that breaks down work into individual tasks to identify the risks involved in each step. With JSA, each job is systematically analyzed to assess possible hazard and how to control that. Yeah, so there is a job safety analysis. Yeah, we uh, we break down the work into the individual tasks and identify the risks involved in each step. Yeah, so step by step we have to know the risks. Yeah, example hazard in electrical engineering. Yeah, electrical engineering involves different types of risks and hazards, which can lead to serious injuries if not handled properly. Yeah, here are some examples of common hazards in the field of electrical engineering. Yeah, now this is the picture of the top 10 most common hazards in workplace. Yeah, hazardous chemical. Yeah, we have to be careful, and we have to know, yeah, what is dangerous, what is not, and how to control them and how to place them. And then ladder. Yeah, sometimes the ladder, yeah, we have to control if there is someone, and have to use helmet, and someone look at the people who in the ladder, because sometimes people fall from the ladder, it's dangerous. Yeah, scaffolding, yeah, like this. Yeah, it's the civil engineering job. And then vehicle accidents. Yeah, there is a lot of accident from the vehicle accident. Yeah, respiratory hazard. Yeah, sometimes when there is a hazardous chemical or another, yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah, and also with the uh, logam. What is logam? Yeah, like asbestos. Yeah, and many more. And then electrical wiring. Yeah, electrical wiring have to be safe. Yeah, if not, it can cause a hazard. Yeah, and people could die because of the electrical. And machinery malfunction. Yeah, machinery that is not in good condition could make people become cut, and then become, many things. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, so we have to check a machine before it works. Yeah, because many accident because of machinery malfunction, or they didn't check, or there is people that is not uh, have to be there. Yeah, so they have to be people who know about the machine. And then falling object. Yeah, That is why uh, we have to control, yeah, like using a helmet, yeah, and then check if there is something that can fall, yeah, and then slippery wet floor, yeah, slippery wet floor. We have to check to the office boy or what, that's the floor is good condition, yeah, not wet. And then also we have to make sure that people use the slipper or the shoes, yeah, that is that is not slippery, yeah. And poor housekeeping, yeah, poor housekeeping also not good, yeah. This is in general, yeah, but maybe you will work not only in electrical engineering, yeah, you can work in many field, yeah. Nah, and then electrical hazard or electric shock, yeah, this is the dangers from electrical engineering. Direct contact with a cable that is currently running or a device that is not properly insulated, yeah, can cause an electric shock, which can be potentially fatal. Incidents like this can occur when workers touch electrical equipment or installation without following proper safety procedure, yeah. So be careful about this, yeah. We have to know is it safe or not, yeah. So this is why we have to use the cable with standard, yeah. If not with standard, it's not good, yeah. Sometimes it leaks or then it's dangerous, yeah. And then sparks and fire hazard. A spark hazard occurs when there is a short circuit or other interference in the electrical system. This spark can start a fire, especially if there are flammable materials in the vicinity of the work area, yeah. And then explosion hazard, yeah. Explosion, yeah, can occur in environments that contains flammable chemicals or hazardous gases. Explosion can also be triggered by short circuit or overcharging of electrical equipment. And then mechanical hazard, yeah. In some application, electrical equipment such as motors or generators also involve moving mechanical components. If these components fail or the worker is not careful, it may cause injury from pinching, cutting, or being hit, yeah. That is why before we use, we have to check, yeah. And then electromagnetic field or EMF display. Excessive exposure to electromagnetic field can cause long-term health effect on workers working near transmission equipment or high-frequency devices. These dangers often go unnoticed because the effects are not immediately apparent, yeah. So this is in a short time but in a long time, yeah. So we have to be cautious about this, yeah. Electromagnetic field, yeah, like uh, yeah, in some area there is transmission lines, yeah, like electricity high voltage or BTS, yeah, you know, base transition, like for the transmission and receiver of the handphone, yeah. And then battery, yeah. The battery may explode if used in the wrong way, especially if it's overcharged or subjected to physical damage. In addition, batteries also contain harmful chemicals that can cause burns or poisoning if leak, yeah. So we have to be careful with battery also, yeah. We have to know the specification and what kind of battery, and what is the dangers of this battery, and so on. So we have to have the book or the note about the battery. Height and electrical installation. Looking at heights when installing electrical system also carries a fall hazard, especially if it's not equipped with adequate safety equipment. So we have to use safety equipment, like helmet, like rope, and then many things more, like shoes, safety shoes, and so on. This condition is very common in electrical installation in high-rise building or infrastructure project, And then workplace risk analysis. Risk analysis is the process of understanding and evaluating the potential hazard identified in order to determine the level of risk and mitigation measures that must be taken. Here are the key steps in conducting a risk analysis. 4.1 Hazard identification. The first step in a risk analysis is to identify all potential hazards that exist in the workplace, such as electrical, chemical, or mechanical hazards. This process can be done through direct observation, accident reports, or interviews with workers. 4.2 Risk assessment. Once hazards are identified, a risk assessment is carried out by assessing two main factors: likelihood of occurrence. How likely is it that the hazard is likely to occur in daily operation? Impact. How much impact will it have if the hazard occurs? The impact can be from minor injury to death, or minor damage to total system failure. And then risk assessment are typically categorized into 3 levels: low, medium, and high. So we can count if it's low, medium, or high. So if high, maybe can make death or the total system failure, but if it's low, it's simple, it's easy to manage, 4.3 Risk control. Once the risk has been assessed, control measures should be put in a place to reduce or eliminate the risk. Risk control can take the form of elimination, removing hazards entirely, for example by replacing a safer tool or system. Technical control, using equipment designed to minimize risk, such as grounding on electrical system. And administrative control, implement strict work procedures and safety training for workers. Usually before work in a place, they will give training first before we work, because we have to know about the place, what we're doing, and about the safety. And also for the people who are the guests come to our place, they have to know also about the safety and what we can do to prevent them. And then use of personal protective equipment, or PPE, requires workers to use PPE such as isolation gloves, helmets, and special shoes. Nah, this is the PPE. On Indonesia we call APD, alat pengaman, Nah, like this isolation, isolation globe, yeah, and then is yeah, kacamata, yeah, glasses, yeah, and then this is head, yeah, to protect the ear, yeah, and then is the glove for the plastic, karet, yeah, from the rubber, yeah, and there is safety clothes, yeah, it depend what is for, yeah, in every, yeah, and then is safety shoes, yeah, and then this is vest, yeah, and then this is helmet, yeah, to prevent if there something falling, yeah, in the usually in the technical, yeah, civil engineering, yeah, and then monitoring and review. Risk analysis must be monitored and reviewed regularly to ensure that the control measures that have been implemented are effective. In the event of a change in the work environment or work methods, the risk analysis must be updated, yeah. And then examples of risk analysis in electrical engineering. Case study: installation of electrical panels in industrial building, yeah. 1. Hazard identification. The main hazard involves the risk of electric shock during wiring and panel operation. Risk assessment. 2. Yeah, possibility high, as the work involves direct contact with high voltage cables. Impact very high, including potential for electrical burns or death, yeah. And then 3. Risk control, yeah. The use of PPA is like insulation globe, yeah, insulation globe, and then clothes, yeah, and then for using the shoes, yeah, protection for safety, yeah, and then turn off the power source before starting work, yeah, and then inspect the appliance regularly to ensure there is no damage or defect, yeah, and then monitoring, yeah. Monitoring is carried out daily by occupational safety officers to ensure all workers follow safety procedure, yeah. And then the conclusion, yeah. Identifying risk and hazard in the workplace, especially in the field of electrical engineering, is a critical process that requires detailed attention and in-depth understanding. Techniques used to identify hazard include direct observation, worker interviews, procedure analysis, and the use of safety checklists. Once the hazard is identified, a risk analysis is carried out to assess the likelihood of the incident and its impact. Risk control measures must be implemented to minimize or eliminate risks, which include hazard elimination, technical controls, administration, and use of PPA. All of these measures are important in keeping workers safe and maintaining safe operation in the workplace. Okay, thank you very much for your time, and I will stop this presentation and sharing. I hope you can understand. Thank you.